Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful realistic parchment. Hope you enjoy. The first thing we want to do is to pick out the transfer sheets we are going to use. Next up, prepare the surface you are going to be working on. Next, get the detail ready for painting. As this is a parchment, I will be using a beige color. In this case, it's Ushabti bone from Citadel. Just apply a couple of coats of it and just make sure that the metal is not visible anymore. There we go. This step is done. Next up, have a think about what you want to put on the parchment and then begin cutting. When I'm cutting, I want to make sure that I'm as close to the edge of the transfer as possible. This will allow us to create a realistic effect and not have big visible borders of the transfer on your miniature. Also, make sure that the transfer is the right size. In this case, I will only need half of this transfer chain. Next, soak the transfers in water to make them removable. Next, use the tip of your brush to remove the transfer from the transfer sheet. Before applying it to the details you're working on, I would recommend removing the excess of the water on your finger to make sure that the transfer sticks well to the surface you are applying it on. Again, using your brush, adjust the placement of the transfer to make it look good. Add as many transfers as you want. In this case, I will stop with just 3. Before you move to the next step, make sure that the transfers are dry. Whenever you are sure that the transfers are ready for you to keep on working on them, start applying matte varnish. Now you want to apply this all over the place to cover both the transfers and the area that has no transfers on it. Apply 2 to 3 thin coats of matte varnish. Applying matte varnish will allow you to remove the glossy effect that the transfers usually have. As this is a Warhammer 40,000 parchment, I would like to go for a weathered look. For that, I will be adding Supreme Sepia Wash from Citadel. Apply it all over the surface you're working on. Next up, we will be adding a coat of Ushabti bone glaze consistency. This will allow us to create a realistic effect on the parchment. Add 2 to 3 coats of Ushabti bone to see the final effect. As you can see, adding the Ushabti bone has allowed us to achieve a realistic, worn parchment look. The next step will be adding more weathering, but this time with Mournfang brown. We will be adding this paint with an old toothbrush. Just get yourself an old toothbrush, add some watered down Mournfang brown to it, and using this motion, add it to your parchment. If you have too much, just simply use a brush to remove the excess. Now let it dry. The last step will be adding some more weathering, again with more Frank brown, on the sides of the parchment. And here is the final effect. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learned something new today. And if you could like and subscribe, that would mean the world to me. See you next time.